All right, hi, and welcome to Asking the Big Questions with Mel Houghton. I have Will Pike here, a very dear friend of mine who is a life and health mentor and founder of Love Fitness, an approach to health and life that reconnects people to their bodies and their intuition. And when you say that, I know you're like my soul brother right now. Will specializes in helping professionals find their inner spark by taking care of their bodies, their minds, their hearts, and their souls. And a very, very inspiring man. And I'm so blessed and grateful to call you a dear friend. So welcome.
Thank you, Mel.
Welcome.
It's so nice to hear those words coming from you as well. It's like, oh, it really rings true when you say them.
Oh, that's good. Well, it is true. That's good. So for those people who are listening to our call today for the first time, haven't met you before, just share a little bit about what you do and so that I can get a picture of who you are.
Yeah, so my name is Will Pike. I'm the founder of Love Fitness and I'm a life and health mentor. And I specialize in helping people really connect back to their bodies and their intuition to take a deeper care of themselves. So I was a personal trainer for the past 4 years, and it was kind of a natural continuation of my personal training, which I found was very top level and wasn't deep enough to really create powerful changes for people. And so after working in the fitness industry for 4 years, I realized that a few things were missing, like a way to help people really stick to their behaviors and an approach that focuses on more than just that physical level, but also on the mental, the emotional, the energetic changes that all happen with taking care of ourselves. And so I founded Love Fitness a year ago, and it's been spectacular what's been happening. So, some incredible changes. One person went from hating exercise to dropping 20 kilos and wanting to enter a fitness modeling competition just like that. And one person lost all her resistance to going to the gym after one session. So there's so much stuff bubbling in the future for people, and it's really, really exciting.
I love it. I remember one of my favorite ways that we've connected is really, I had a similar journey with the fitness industry as well, as realizing, you get clients lose 12 kilos in 12 weeks, and at the end of it, they'd still be dissatisfied or feel like it wasn't enough yet, or they'd be afraid of putting the weight back on. And I remember having that same thought, something's missing here. And I remember going on that journey. So I just know that I remember talking to you about the future of the fitness industry, and it really is moving to more of a holistic approach to health and lifestyle. And I'm so proud of you for leading that new, wave of fitness entrepreneurs really aiming to make a real positive and sustainable difference in people's lives in all areas. So, kudos.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, let's dive in, shall we, to today's Asking the Big Questions.
Yeah.
6 big questions, and we're going to start from the top. First question, Will, of Asking the Big Questions is, what do you see as the most pressing concern facing people on our planet today?
So the most pressing concern, I would say, is taking care of ourselves and taking care of our bodies and our minds, our hearts and our souls. Because I find when we do that, we look at ourselves first, then we can serve others from that space. But unless we start to go inside and take care of ourselves first, we can't serve others, we can't change the world. Yeah. And so changing the world comes from really starting with ourselves, and it comes from committing to our work, to taking care of our bodies on a daily basis, of our minds, of our hearts, of our souls on a daily basis, really committing to that work. And when that happens, then the outer world changes, and we can really make a big impact on the world outside by taking care of ourselves first.
I love that. Thank you. I say it in the following. I say it that success is an inner game before it's an outer game.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Very cool. Thank you. Cool. Next question is, what do you think the world needs most right now?
I think the world needs most people connected to their hearts and intuition.
Yeah,
it really is. I think it's people need the knowledge that they have it all already, that they don't need to find gurus and teachers and books and workshops and TV shows and magazines to find what they have inside already.
Yeah.
And people need to have that knowledge that stop looking outside of you for success or for love or for all these different things. Start looking inside of you for it, because it's all there. It's all in your body, it's all in your mind. You are a system with everything you are complete already. And it's teaching people to understand that and to recognize that. And once people recognize that they have their intuition, they have their heart and their soul whispering to them constantly, if they choose to listen to it, then they can really, one, do the inner work, and two, create the outer life that they really want and make the impact and the change that everyone wants to make deep down.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. There's a few little gems you brought up just there. I'm just curious. I love that when you say that, because the world is very externalized, right? They're very much looking out there for the success, out there for the solution. But I like to say that anytime you think that the source of the problem or the solution is outside of yourself, it is merely an illusion. Yeah. So I think it's useful. One thing I want to just check in, for those of you who are sort of starting out on this more deeper, more meaningful journey watching this, just know that it is useful still to get those mentors and those guides. And I think it's important for those people who are starting out, if they think, I've got to find the answers myself, that could feel quite overwhelming. So, I sort of see as there is usefulness in finding those people. Just know that they're there to help you in a path. They can't walk your path. Only you can walk your path. So for those people that are just starting out on this journey, what would you suggest?
Yeah, a bit what you just said, really. Yeah. Finding how to tap into your intuition and into your edge. And that does mean, of course, finding a mentor, finding a coach, finding a book or workshop for sure. And then the difference is not putting all your power into that.
Yes, good distinction.
You have the intuition. It all comes from you. You might need the first trigger, the first bit of knowledge to learn how to tap into it first. So yeah, my advice is just to get started. Do some research. Find something that you resonate with online, or a book, or a mentor. Find someone or something that you really go, yes, this really rings true for me, and see it as a practice. Learning to understand yourself as a practice. You don't get it right the first time. That's why I call it love fitness. Learning to love yourself and learning to connect to your heart is a practice. It's a fitness. It's a training. It's not you understand it, you can do it. So it's dedicating yourself to that. So just starting with the small steps along the path, saying, yes, I choose to create this in my life. Let's get started.
Cool. I love it. Thank you. And there's another little piece I wanted to touch on before going to the next question. You mentioned that what the world needs most right now is love and intuition. I'm curious, what do you think, if we had more people on the planet living from love and living from their intuition, what impact could that have?
I think would be less, as you said, externally focused.
Yeah.
Far less, people reaching less for just success and just love and happiness and all these things externally.
Yeah.
People would be more grounded and kind of have more of breath and space in their life and more love in their life, more compassion for others. Because what I found is that when we're not in a space of love, we have anger, fear and depression within us, in our bodies and in our minds, and we respond to those, we act those out, and we create reality based on anger, fear, depression. Yeah. Whereas if you're able to transmute those through love and intuition, you turn those into courage and fierceness and compassion. And with those three energies, you can create anything, but also you can create it from a space of service. You can serve your heart by creating and serve other people's heart at the same time. So, the world changes drastically when that happens. Your world changes drastically, and the outer world and the world itself changes drastically as a result. When people do what they love, things become more efficient, there's more energy to it, there's more love in the air, because love is a tangible force. And when people put love into what they want, into their work, into their into their fashion, into their bodies, into their minds, and it's you can sense it, you can feel it.
Very cool. Thank you. So next question is, what would you like people to say about you when you die?
Ooh. You would have asked me this a few months ago, I would have said something like, oh, he had a big impact on people, he had this, he created this wonderful business and approach that changed many lives. But what I've really discovered recently is that what I would love people to say about me is that I just did what I loved, and I was shining. Of course, from that, there'll be an impact, there'll be a leadership, there'll be people will receive a lot from that and be inspired. But I think first for me, what I really want to create in my own life is to just be in my life and to shine and to do what I love, be in the flow as much as I can, really, really, really be there. From that, things will happen, but that's what I really want to for people to say about me.
Okay, cool. I love it. Thank you. Cool. Next question. What do you love most about what you do?
Hmm. I think at the moment, what I'm really loving is the space and the structure.
Yeah.
I was telling you before
Yeah.
the sense of having breath and space in my life and doing work I love, doing creative stuff I love, friends and family, and having met my soulmates and having all these things in my life I really love. At the same time, having the space to do it, and through that space, the impact that I have on others is, tenfold. Because there's less of a rush to find the next client, less of a rush to do the next thing and to fill my diary. So what I really love is having this space, because the impact is on myself, my friends, my family, and of course the people I work with is multiplied.
Oh,
So that's what I'm really loving right now. Is
loving the space.
The sense of breath in my life. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I know we were having this conversation before we started this interview, and I was really feeling into that space that you've created, and it seems very, very special. So yeah, very good. I can feel it. So cool. Next question. For people out there, what is the number one philosophy that you live your life by?
Well, yes, that was a hard question when you sent me that one. I wasn't really sure what to answer. So listen, I think the number one philosophy I live my life by is step by step. Step by step. I was always a big perfectionist, always a big, need it now.
Oh yeah, I'm a reformed perfectionist as well.
And what I've learned recently is step by step. So there's a really good analogy, which is when you change your life, it's like turning a ship around, and you can't turn it around straight away in the water. It takes a while to kind of to tack slightly.
Yeah.
So every single day is making that 1%, going 1% deeper in your life, making that 1% more of a connection with someone, or taking care of yourself 1% more every single day, and then step by step, time over time, day by day, things start to evolve. So I think, I'd say my number one philosophy at the moment, because it might change, really is the step by step, taking the time.
Take it step by step. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
And one of my favorite quotes, I can't remember where it came from, but it is like everything in life, like life itself, unfolds itself one step and one moment at a time. So it is being in the flow of the universe. It happens one moment and one step at a time. There's another one that says that, our life path is only revealed to us the next step. We only do see the next step. We can't see the whole staircase at sometimes. We can only just see, take this action. And when trusting your heart and your intuition, as you know as well, it's like that, okay, just trust it. Trust that step. And then the next one will be revealed to you. I think it's a pretty powerful philosophy.
Exactly.
Very cool.
That's a good distinction you made, actually. Is if you can trust your heart and your intuition, then step by step is obvious and much easier, of course. You just trust intuition, and step by step can seem a bit like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Yes, absolutely. If you're not used to that, there's a lot of people out there who are still in the perfectionist realm, and it's needing to see the entire staircase before they'll take one step. And unfortunately, for the way in which I see us going on the planet, I don't think that's going to be possible for much longer. You just got to, it's about trusting the next step and knowing where you're going, but knowing that, or trusting the process, as opposed to where do most people, if they're not trusting the process, they're not taking it step by step, where might they be living? How might they be operating? What are your thoughts on that?
Subconscious mind, subconscious beliefs.
Yeah.
So not from heart, from the space of beliefs which are obviously built on conditioning and wounds, and then create thoughts and feelings, and people acting out those thoughts and feelings. So trying to find success because they've been wounded, trying to find love, trying to find all these different things, or trying to feel whole, trying to feel complete, and acting them out through work, relationships, health, and home situations that aren't actually what their soul loves, but are kind of a compromise. So people are creating structures of survival in work, home, relationships, and health, rather than thriving, which is when you're in your heart and soul, then you thrive.
Yeah.
And then normally it's probably actually downscaling, actually, because when we're in our subconscious mind and beliefs, we want to save the world, we want to do all these massive things, and that's fantastic, and that usually happens from the space of love. But lots of the time it can happen also in our minds from the space of, I need the validation, the approval, I need to feel like my life is meaningful, I need to feel all these things, I need to feel a success. And so we create these visions for ourselves that might actually not be connected to our heart and soul, but driven from these subconscious beliefs.
Very cool. That's a nice little notice, people. Nice one. Okay, cool. Last question. For those people out there who are watching this who would like to live their passion, but for whatever reason they haven't started yet, what would your advice be to those people?
I think it goes back to the step-by-step philosophy, which is just start with the first step. Like often when people come to me and say, I want to do what I love, there's this kind of perception that it means dropping everything and doing what you love.
Yeah.
And intuition is not stupid. Intuition will not make you do things like that.
Yes.
Intuition is always what's obvious. So what's obvious would probably be keep your job, no Monday to Friday, and then spend 2 or 3 evenings a week working on what you love to start with. First step.
Yeah.
Over time, you might have a transition phase. So it really is take that first step that your intuition is telling you, which is just the obvious thing. It's not dropping everything and going to open a bar in Ibiza yet. That might be what you want to do eventually. But it's about, okay, grounding yourself in your life. What's obvious right now in my reality? What have I got in front of me? Where do I want to be? And what's the initial first step? Is it a bit of research? Is it connecting with someone? Is it giving myself a morning, a week to just start thinking and working about it? That initial first step will then lead to the next obvious action, to the next one, to the next one.
Yeah.
So just that first step is what matters.
Absolutely. I love those, thank you. I love those transition points that you spoke about, and they're one of the favorite things that I know personally I like to coach people through. And there's transition points to different levels of success in business. There's transition points from doing what you are currently doing that pays the bills to doing primarily what you love. And it's very sound advice, is there is that transition. And it's not just, and I've seen people do this a lot, it's like, I'm going to quit my job and just start doing what I love, and then they find themselves in a big, massive hole. It's gentle transitions that are the most successful.
That's what the heart and intuition and soul will be probably telling you. You know, when the whole dropping everything is probably from a perception we have of doing what we love, which is again subconscious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Of intuition.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, thanks, Will, for helping us out with answering some big questions. I'm sure people have got some really nice life advice and some tips to live their passion. One thing I love about you is your emails that you send out in your blogs. Will's blog's awesome. I love his emails. I read them all the time. So, for example, where can someone sign up for, email updates from you and get more, life advice on creating love and fitness and inspiring their heart and their intuition and their soul with their life purpose? Where can they find more on that?
So www.willpike.co.uk is probably the best bet.
Okay, cool. And they can sign up for your blogs and all sorts of things there?
Get an ebook, get a few videos, and just stay in touch.
Okay, cool. That'd be awesome. So www.willpike.co.uk?
Yep.
Fabulous. Done. Okay, cool. Thanks, Will. I really appreciate it.
It's been so much fun. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.